If you've ever traveled, especially outside the country, you know the power of a missed connection, a missed flight, transfer between gates, luggage waiting on you or you waiting on luggage, or even worse, being held up as you go through security or customs, and knowing that if you miss that connection, all of the world will not seem right for a long time. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. I can remember sitting on the cruise ship. I've only been on one cruise so far with my wife, but as we sat on a cruise ship leaving Cozumel, Mexico, and watching the people running as fast as they could. And I mean, as the ship was pulling away from the dock, they were sprinting to the customs check to be able to get back on the boat. And it was just a little bit too late because you can't swim fast enough now to catch up. And maybe you've been in that place where you showed up at the meeting spot. Coffee shops are a famous place for meetings for people who are entrepreneurs especially, or they serve in a large area geographically. And so as opposed to driving all the way across the metropolitan area, you meet in the middle at a coffee shop or a restaurant. And you show up there at about 10 minutes till 2, and you're looking at your watch going, just in the nick of time, and you have a seat, and you're waiting, and you're still waiting, and 2 o'clock comes, and you're still waiting, and 2:15 comes, and then you think, oh man, was it really 3 o'clock? Maybe I'm just here way too early. I'll wait till 3 o'clock. I'll see if they show at 3 o'clock. Maybe even send a text, or you make a phone call, and 3 o'clock comes and they don't show. And so you go back digging through the emails and you realize I made this appointment on a different day. I didn't just miss it by, was it 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or 3 o'clock? I missed it by the day. Whether I fat fingered it and typed too many numbers or I just got it wrong, I missed it completely. See, some of the appointments in our life are very much like that. They are now or not at all. It's not like we can fix those appointments for later. Sometimes it's not just the appointment with the person that we're supposed to be meeting. I was in the Congo a few years ago, and I've tagged a young man on this post who apparently now is writing a book. Congratulations, Calvin, on that. As I met him, though, it was a bit of an unusual event for me. See, I had gone with my translator off to visit the city. And I left the hotel where our security team was, and I left the hotel where the political leaders who brought me to the Congo were, and I went with my translator and his girlfriend, and we went past where the place said the taxi would go. In fact, the taxi driver pulled over to the side of the road and let us out. And he said, I don't go any farther than this. And so the three of us got out of the taxi and we walked another half hour or so. Roads became sand and dirt as opposed to asphalt, and the community got much darker and much louder because we were out of the city lights. And then we found a club. And we had selected a table by the door, and my translator decided that he needed to go get some drinks, and his girlfriend went to go get some food, and they left me in the Congo in a nightclub with no translator. And honestly, I don't think terrified was the right word, but I realized I'm a little out of place. And I kind of stand out like a sore thumb. And then this young man sat down at the table and he looked at me and he didn't say anything. He just stared a hole through me for about 20 seconds. And finally, I just looked at him and said, I hope I haven't taken your table. Which I realize now was quite preposterous because I had no idea whether or not he spoke English. And I didn't have a translator. But CJ looked back at me and he goes, "Oh, good, you speak English." And we struck up a conversation, and we sat there for the next hour or so with his friends and other friends of his age, and we talked politics, and we talked education, and we talked leadership, and we had a great time. And here we are a little over 2 years later. He's publishing a book, and he tagged me on Facebook to let me know, "Hey, I appreciate your investment in my life to be able to do that." And I want you to understand that sometimes missing an appointment isn't as easy as was I at the right coffee shop at the right time or on the right day. Sometimes it's a cosmic connection that's supposed to be in that place at that time. And there's something much bigger than you, bigger than your calendar, bigger than your sales call, bigger than the employee-employer relationship, the opportunity to work for a company or to be hired by them or to hire the right employee. Sometimes it's genuinely about players that the universe, God, everything around you knows are going to be in that place at that time, and you didn't know it, couldn't have planned for it, couldn't have made it happen if you tried. But if you miss that appointment, you're going to feel like the people on the dock running with all they have, dragging their bags back to the dock, watching the cruise ship sail away. See, opportunity meets at the intersection of luck and preparedness. I said that wrong. Luck meets at the intersection of opportunity and preparedness. And if you're not prepared when you get there, when the opportunity comes, like the cruise ship, it's going to sail away and your luck will go with it. I want to challenge you as leaders. Don't miss the appointments that seem chance. Don't miss the ones that you've planned and thought, well, maybe it's not that big a deal if I miss it. Because you don't really know what someone else knows about what you might be missing. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day. Leadership team. If attitude is going to have a deep impact on your business and bottom line, make it a positive attitude with a positive impact. Visit jlorennorris.com/attitude hack